Mister, it takes me a week to grade tests. Colander handed back our math quizzes that very morning. Really? Just when things were starting to go right for me, too. I looked at my grade and felt like screaming. For joy. I didn't do great. A C- wasn't going to get a high five from Mom, but at least I wouldn't get a no at home telling Mom I flunked. I actually yelped a little bit from excitement. I couldn't help myself. Yes, Otto, said our teacher. Nothing. You yelped. Just happy. You got a C. A C-. Isn't life wonderful? I felt so good I didn't even get upset staring at Lexi's wall of posters along the hallway when I left class. The student body elections would be next week and the posters would all come down. Next week, life would be normal. Lexi's signs would be gone. I'd be a soccer star. I'd work extra hard to bring my grades back up. And I'd come home every day to an exciting, hug-ready dog. I got a C- on my math test, I told Malcolm at lunch. Fist bump! Malcolm made a potato chip, carrot stick, and peanut butter sandwich. That's when you open your bread and crumble your chips in it, and then add your carrot sticks. Malcolm said it made a sandwich that was crunchy and sweet and healthy all at the same time. But I just thought it was a waste of potato chips. You know that a C- is a horrible grade, right? I think horrible is a bit strong. Less than stellar, I would say. No, it's horrible. I'd be grounded for a week if I got a C-, but at least you're happy. It means I can still get a dog. I can still win. Malcolm finally returned my fist bump. Things are looking good, agreed Malcolm. I was just adding up your earnings. You got some weird numbers, though. And you have about $20 more than I thought you did. Where did that come from?
A generous tip, I mumbled, looking away and not thinking of Lexi's hidden cash stash. Well, if you sell another subscription, you can make it to $500 before the weekend. If not, you'll still squeak over. Just don't mess up. How could I possibly mess up, I asked. I'm the world's greatest dog walker. Malcolm shook his head and then took a bite of his sandwich. His crispy chomp sounded like someone walking on thin ice. I chewed my cheese sandwich. Even I couldn't mess this up. I was in an even better mood later when I walked Ruffy. His owner, Miss Singer, bought a subscription and she didn't even argue about the price. Ruffy was a lab with a beautiful shiny black coat, so shiny it was like someone had sprayed it with cooking oil. You were proud to walk a dog like Ruffy, his nose up, his legs bounding up and down like you were in a parade. Proud, handsome, those might have been the best dogs, really. Miss Singer told me that the last dog walker she hired let Ruffy run away, so I should be careful. I assured her she had nothing to fear with me, and I would never let a dog lose again. And I had nothing to worry about. Ruffy was incredibly obedient. He stood straight, he walked when I walked, and stopped when I stopped. He even heeled when I told him to heel, and dogs hardly ever did that for me. We entered a small downtown and passed a sign inside the window of a used bookstore. Ye Old Town Curious Books. You'd think you owned a bookstore, you'd know how to spell the word old correctly. And what did ye mean? The sign in the window was one of Lexi's sign. No one else used so much glitter in so many awful colors as she did. I hated to say it, but she did good work. There was a picture of a book made entirely of glitter, but you could practically feel the pages in your hand when you look at it. What do you think, boy? I asked. Lexi has some talent, doesn't she? If only she wasn't so annoying, and a girl, and a cat lover, and lived in my house, and breathed my oxygen, and got in the way, and didn't like to watch any good TV shows. Other than that, she's not so bad, I suppose. Just don't tell her that, okay? Our secret. As we walked, we passed Miss McCluskey, unloading her weekly groceries again. She lifted what seemed like a really heavy bag, her back practically creaking. She looked like she needed some assistance. I can get that for you, I said. When you're on top of the world, it's easy to be generous. Thank you, young man, she said with obvious relief.
Just hold this for a second. I handed her my leash and grabbed her bag. Or maybe I didn't hand her the leash. It happened so fast. One second I held a leash. The next second I heard, "Wait, young man, I don't have a good grip," while I was lifting the grocery bag. The second after that, I caught a glimpse of Ruffy tearing down the street, his lash dragging right behind him. "Rufy, wait," I cried. "Oh no," exclaimed Mr. McCluskey. "What did I do?" But she hadn't done anything. I had. I had been warned he liked to escape too. I wanted to hit my head against the car door, but I was holding a giant bag of groceries, so I couldn't. And I would probably dent the car. "Rufy," I cried, my stomach filling with panic. I bet he'd been planning an escape the whole time, pretending to be respectful and such. Mrs. McCluskey looked positively mortified. "It wasn't your fault," I squeaked. For a second, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't exactly chase him holding a heavy bag of groceries. After a second of indecision, I put the bag down on the ground. But then I didn't even see Rufy anymore. "Where did he go?" I asked, my stomach tightening, my breath wheezing. "Rufy, I don't know," Miss McCluskey said. "I lost sight of him. I rode this way and that. He couldn't have gone too far." It had only been a few seconds. "Rufy," I cried, "come back." But if he could hear me, he wasn't answering. If I used all my money, I could buy a new dog and look just like Rufy. Maybe, probably not. But more important, what if something happened? He could be anywhere. He could be running in the street. He could have been picked up by a dog-stealing hoodlum. Rufy. How could I lose another dog? It was the most irresponsible dog walker ever. I didn't deserve to have my own dog, but right then and there, I didn't care. I just wanted to find Rufy. I just wanted him to be okay. I cut my mouth and yelled as loud as I could. "Rufy!" Bark. "Rufy!" Bark, bark. Rufy came from behind the corner, marching slowly. Someone held his leash, walking him towards us. But not just anyone. "Lose something?" Lexi asked. I ran up to them and gave Rufy the biggest hug I could. I knew it was savvy, but my eyes watered. "I thought I lost you, boy." Lexi cleared her throat. "Yes?" I growled, looking at her. I saw the dog running and I grabbed the leash. And then I heard your voice. "Don't you have anything to say to me?" "Like what?" "Starts with a T and ends with a thank you. As in, thank you for saving my butt." She smirked. I gulped. I hated to say it. I truly deeply wanted to say anything but this. But I said it anyways. "Yeah, okay, thanks. You're welcome." And then she threw me another smirk before walking away, and I wish I had said anything else. I wanted to scream after her. Never mind my thank you. But Rufy was back and okay, and that was the most important thing. I gave him another big hug. This time I made sure Mrs. McCluskey held the leash while I carried in her grocery bag. She insisted on giving me a $10 bill, even though I told her she didn't have to. But it just goes to show you that there's such a good thing as karma. You do nice things and nice things happen back to you. And if you walk around smirking, then karma bites you in the head. I'd win this war because I deserved to win. Because karma was on my side, unless karma knew what the $20 I accidentally took from Lexi. No, the $20 she owed me. Maybe.